So now you know why big city mayor is the toughest job in America. Political fire is constantly going off and intransigent problems. So let's get to a couple of those.
Sure.
Here's an unexpected one. Eddie Johnson, found slumped over in his car, orders an investigation of himself. Was that handled properly? You had a sergeant, a lieutenant, and a commander who all showed up at the scene. No sobriety test.
Well, look, it was the right thing to call for an investigation. That investigation will play itself out. He did call me ahead of time to give me a heads up before the news broke, which I appreciated. But, you know, everybody, whether it's a superintendent or a beat patrol officer, has to abide by the rules, and there's an investigation that's open, and we'll see how that plays itself out.
A sobriety test not done, and now it's too late.
Well, look, I don't want to prejudge the internal affairs investigation. I think that would be inappropriate for me as mayor in particular. And so we'll see what happens with that investigation. I know what the superintendent told me, which is that he was having some medical issues this week. He was changing medication. He didn't feel well. He pulled off to the side, and then IAD will sort out the rest of it. Shouldn't
there have been a sobriety test?
Well, as
Wouldn't anyone else have had one?
Well, as I said, I don't want to prejudge the facts. We need to let the internal investigation play itself out.
Do you buy his story?
I have no reason to doubt that he has. Obviously, we know that he's had some medical issues. He's on the other side of a kidney operation, which is obviously very, very serious. There have been some issues with high blood pressure and so forth, so he was changing his medication. I know myself, when I've taken medication, sometimes it has side effects. I know from my parents. So I take him at his word. The investigation will sort out the details. I know that he went to see his doctor again yesterday. So we'll see what happens with the investigation.
Did you ask him if he'd been drinking?
I listened to what he told me. I know that he had been out to dinner with some folks. And as I said, he told me he was driving home. He felt ill, and he pulled over to the side of the road, which was, he believed, the prudent thing to do. So we'll see what the investigation holds.
Did you ask him if he'd been drinking?
I didn't ask him that question specifically. He revealed to me that he'd had a couple of drinks with dinner.
Oh, he did. And is that okay? Is that okay? Should he have been driving then?
Well, look, again, I'm going to let the investigation play itself out. He's a grown man. He had a couple drinks at dinner is what he told me.
But he shouldn't be driving if he did.
Well, I can't say that. I can't say that. I don't think you can say that. But no matter what, I think we got to let the investigation play itself out.
But even if, let's say his story is correct and that it's with change in medication, does it indicate a larger medical issue, which we know he has, that would maybe precipitate you to make a decision to not keep him on or play a role in your decision that you haven't made yet?
Look, I don't want to speculate like that. And I want to give him respect. So we will see what the circumstances are. He called me up, let me know about it ahead of time, and there's an investigation going on, and we'll see where the facts take us.
But you haven't had that conversation with him yet, that larger conversation about whether he stays on past the summer you wanted to get through. We're through it now. Why not?
Well, we will have that when the time is right.
When will the time be right?
It'll
After your budget?
No,
do you not want to get into it because you have so many other fires to put out?
Well, no, it's not that. It's there. You know, obviously there's a lot going on. He was out of town for a little bit of time, taking a vacation. We'll have the conversation when the time is right.
For example, we have an IG investigation of a murder or a suicide that may have been a murder. And he ordered a 5-day suspension for these two police officers. Does that seem right to you? Does that seem awfully lenient?
Well, I haven't read the IG's report. I only know about it because one of your colleagues has been following this case extensively. So I can't judge it because I don't know the specific facts.
So do you have even an impression of how he handled that?
Well, what I'm more concerned about is issues regarding the medical examiner's determinations. It's highly unusual for the FBI to get involved in the way that it did. So I think there's a lot of unknowns there, but I haven't read the IG report, so I'm loath to comment any further.
So what will your decision on Eddie Johnson be based on then?
Well, Look, you gotta, in something this serious, there's not a lot of people in the country that can be the leader of the second largest police department in the country. On any given day, maybe there's 10 or less that can actually do the job. And I know this, having gone through a police superintendent search previously. So there's a lot that takes to be a leader of a department like this. It's not just crime strategy. It's not just community relations. It's all of those things and much, much more. So I don't take that decision lightly. I've known Eddie Johnson since he became superintendent, and at that time I was the president of the police board. We've obviously gotten to know each other much, much better since I've become mayor. I've seen him through tough times where he's had to go when officers have been wounded or killed. It takes a lot to do that job, and I don't take that decision lightly. So I look at the totality of the traits that are necessary to do it. And he came in at a really difficult time for the department and really, I think, stabilized things when I think a lot of people felt like the department was unmoored. And we have to give him credit for stepping up and into the breach at a time when the department was really under siege. And I will take that, of course, into consideration. So we will have the conversation when the time is right.